Obtaining proof of U.S. citizenship. If you have a legitimate claim to U.S. citizenship, in order to establish that claim you must apply for some kind of citizenship document if your birth took place outside the territorial U.S., and you acquired U.S. citizenship at birth from your parents or derived it through your parents' naturalization. The following types of documents will be recognized as proof of U.S. citizenship: U.S. passports, certificates of citizenship, or certificates of consular registration of birth. If you were born abroad to U.S. citizen parents, you can apply for a U.S. passport in the same way as someone born in the United States. However, you will have the added requirement of establishing your citizenship claim. Passports are available from passport offices in the U.S., run by the U.S. Department of State, and at U.S. consulates outside the U.S., but experience shows that you have a better chance at a U.S. consulate. Wherever you apply, you will be required to present proof of your parents' U.S. citizenship and evidence that they, and you, complied with any applicable U.S. residency requirements. Review the sections on birth to a U.S. citizen for what you must prove under these circumstances. You will need to present documents such as birth or citizenship records of your parent or grandparent and work or tax records establishing U.S. residency for your parent or grandparent. Two. Certificates of citizenship. Certificates of citizenship are issued only inside the U.S. by USCIS offices. Anyone with a claim to U.S. citizenship can apply for a certificate of citizenship. In most cases it is more difficult and takes much longer to get a certificate of citizenship than a U.S. passport. However, in situations where your U.S. citizenship was obtained automatically through the naturalization of a parent, certificates of citizenship applications are the best choice. In fact, at the time a parent is naturalized, the children can, upon the parent's request, be issued certificates of citizenship simultaneously with their naturalization certificates. Certificates of citizenship not requested simultaneously with a parent's naturalization must be applied for later, on Form N-600. Except that a slightly different form, numbered N-600K, must be used by children living outside of the U.S. who apply for citizenship through their parents, as described in Naturalization for Certain Children Living Outside of the United States, above. The current fee for both the N-600 and the N-600K is $1,170 for most citizens. Since every person might have different requirements, it is recommended that you use a fee calculator to determine exactly how much you have to pay. Those who are veterans or members of the U.S. Army are exempt from paying this fee. You need to bring proof that you went through military service. Otherwise, you will have to pay the filing fee. Three. Certificates of consular registration of birth. Certificates of consular registration of birth are issued by a U.S. consulate abroad if your parents were U.S. citizens but were not physically in the U.S. when you were born. They may have registered your birth with a U.S. consulate to establish your right to U.S. citizenship and create an official birth record. For you to have acquired a certificate of consular registration of birth, your parents must have registered your birth at a consulate within 5 years after you were born. Multiple copies can be issued at the time of registration, but duplicates cannot be obtained later. Therefore, parents should request at least several copies in issuing the certificate. The consulate asks to see evidence that any residence requirements the law placed on your parents were fulfilled. The consular registration is conclusive proof of U.S. citizenship, but if your parents did not take the steps to get one when you were a child, there is no way of obtaining one now. If your parents did not register your birth in time, you may either apply for a passport through a passport office in the U.S. or at a U.S. consulate abroad, or you may apply for a certificate of citizenship through the SCIS in the United States. You can typically get the passport much faster than the certificate of citizenship.